Nobody's having my book, is there?
Well, Clark, good evening and welcome again to the Tasting Bothy.
Oh, lovely. How are you?
I'm smashing, mate. Very, very well.
Brilliant. Brilliant. That's what I like to hear.
As I said to you the other day there when I dropped this in, Gordon has given us another one of these mystery drams to have a go at. So
Well, if
I'll
it's
just
as good as the last time.
get a chance to. It was really nice because he filled it right to the top of the bottle. You couldn't have got much more into it than that.
Great guy.
Yes, definitely. Anyway, and then we're going to go for the Kilchoman Loch Gruinart.
Yes, that's the very one. Yep. Yeah.
So so I tell you something. The first thing I noticed of this one, for Gordon's poured it out, taking out the bottle, is the colour of it.
Oh, it's very dark.
It's very, very dark. Yeah.
I noticed that. It's a lovely colour, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
That's a good start.
It's one of those ones. It's one of these are again. Gordon has surprised us. He surprised us the last time because we weren't expecting what we got from him the last time, and I don't know what he's chosen for us this time, but he does like to challenge us a wee bit. So
I'm all for it, right enough.
So am I. Definitely. Oh, I've dropped off for some reason. No, I'm back. Anyway, shall we have a wee nose of this?
I think we should. Right. You're still with me? That's fine. Oh, you kind of froze there for a moment.
Now,
I like that.
The woodiness of this is absolutely beautiful. That's a lovely. That's the first thing I get is that oaky wood, and then the sherry cask. I think this is reasonably old, Clark.
You would think that with the colour anyway, wouldn't you?
Well, two things, yeah, the colour and that woodiness that I'm getting from it.
What a lovely smell. Yep.
I'm not going to say much at the moment. I'm not going to say much.
It's nice. It's the kind of smell that I like. Where you got these kind of dried
sherry.
It's lovely.
Why that's scoring highly on my nose.
Yeah, I like that. I like it a lot.
Okay, I'll have a wee taste of this, see what it's like.
There's a wee something going in my nose there. I'm not sure what it is. It maybe come to me. Anyway, let's have a taste.
Oh wow! Oh, that's cask strength. Oh boy! Oh boy!
I like that. Oh yes.
That is lovely. It's lovely, but it's cask strength, Clark.
It must be. You can feel it on your tongue.
Oh, that's now. I'm going to. Hey, remember I had Glen Elgin. You remember that one? That was the one I scored. That was the one I scored like 99 or 100 or something. It was my favourite dram. Remember? Do you remember that one?
I remember that. Aye, I do.
This is very similar.
That's lovely. That's a really nice
one. The fruitiness of it, it's really fruity. It's got that sherry bomb that I've got. It's got my top of my gum has went numb with that. And now that I've had a wee taste of it, it's full of toffee notes and it's like a McGowan's toffee stuck to my teeth.
Oh, it's brilliant. That's lovely. Really nice, eh?
Oh. Oh, that's delicious. Right.
That is really, really nice. And I like again, these fruity, dried kind of fruity taste of it. Lovely.
Right. I would say that the first mouthful I took of that kind of took my breath away just because it is so good. And the finish is lovely. It's got a lovely ginger, spicy heat to it.
It holds there for a while as well. It's that really nice, aye. Oh.
Well, this is going to score high on my rating.
Oh, that's assaulting my tongue, that is. Oh.
Right, this reminds me very much of that one I had.
That is a lovely.
Sure this is it's crazy because I'm not sure it's as nice as that one that I had. I can't even remember what it was called, Clark. It was called something. I need to go back. Hold on. Let me go back.
Well, was it the Glen Elgin 15?
It was a Glen Elgin 15. I can't remember how far back. No, it was a Glen Elgin 16. It was.
Was it?
Aye, and I scored it. Do you know? I never wrote down what the name of the Malt Whisky Society called it. And it's terrible. Oh, I wish I'd written that down now. It was in a hogshead cask.
That's right, hogshead ex-bourbon and ex-sherry cask.
Ex-bourbon. Did you write down what the name of the... Because I couldn't get it again. I remember trying to buy the bottle after we'd done it because it was so good.
I've just got it says, all I've got is Glen Elgin. I've got age 15.
Yep. Age 15. Maybe it was a 15-year-old. So I'll change that to age 15.
Well, that's what I've got written. This doesn't mean that's right. But
no. I know. We probably did it. I've maybe just written it down wrong. And then it was cask strength as well. It was 56.7.
That's right.
Ex-bourbon and ex-PX. So Pedro Jimenez cask.
Very good.
So again, that ex-bourbon, ex-sherry cask. But back then it was a PX cask on that. So I think this is very similar to that, Clark. Now, I gave Gordon some of this to taste back then. I'm wondering if he's given it back to us. I wonder if he had enough of it to say, right, I'm going to give him it back and see if when they taste it, it tastes exactly the same. I'm not entirely sure it is, though. I've not got that much confidence to go with that. It's lovely, though. I love this. This is a great dram. Again.
Yeah. Yep, I agree with you completely. Really, really nice. Be interesting to see what it is.
Right, before we finish it, I have an envelope.
You've got an envelope? Is there money in it?
But keep me thinking if you feel like it's money. Still catching my throat that wee bit. Let me sit that on the floor there.
It's
Right.
in the front of my tongue. It's still be sticking a pin in the front of my tongue. It's a lovely dram. Really like that. Oh, what does that say?
Aye.
No, I can't. What does that say?
It's called Freeform Jazz.
It's called what?
Freeform Jazz.
Freeform Jazz.
Yeah, that's what it's called. It is definitely a Scottish Malt Whisky Society, and it's in celebration of the Spirit of Speyside Whisky Festival this year. It's 57.5%, so it's not far off. It's aged 15 years, and it's in a first fill bourbon and Spanish oak Oloroso hogshead cask. And I can't see. I'm trying to see what the. Oh, I don't know what I can do. Hold on a second. Let me. While we're chatting, let me go. I'll Google it and see if I can find freeform jazz. Freeform jazz.
Yes.
Yeah, let me share. I don't know. I can't share my screen with you with this like I would normally done. I don't have a share button on this streaming to do it. So let me open it up. Freeform Jazz, Malt Whisky Society. Right, I've got it here. 15-year-old, and it's batch number 85. So let me just go and find out what Scottish Malt Whisky Society, SMWS CODE code 85. Glen Elgin Distillery.
There you go. You were right enough. Well done, you.
It was so similar to that one, Clark. I know it was only a few weeks back we did it.
Aye. It's a lovely dram. Really like that.
It's a 15-year-old Glen Elgin, which is what we had. The difference is the cask that it was in. We had ours in a PX cask. This is in the Oloroso Sherry Hogshead rather than the PX.
Aye.
This is a lovely dram.
It sure is. It sure. Yeah. Sorry if I seemed distracted there. I was writing, but that's a cracker. That is an absolute cracker. I love that.
I love the nose in it. It's that woodiness was the first thing that hit me, but it's now just full of toffee. It's like creme brulee with the vanilla and the toffee and the. It's lovely. It just fills your nose with that.
I know, but I've never had a creme brulee.
With that,
what
was that?
I said I've never had a creme brulee that burnt your nose hairs out before, though.
Well, that might be the only thing is that it's not. It doesn't seem very complex. You'd think it should be more complex than that.
I know what you're saying.
I think it's just so full of fruit in it. That Christmas cake, date, lassie, all that kind of stuff that you get.
That's it. All these dried fruits and ginger and all that kind of stuff that you get in a cake. That's exactly what it was.
That's all that.
But it doesn't need anything else. That's bra.
I've not put any water, and I've not brought any water with me, so I can't take it with water. So to find out if it makes a difference there.
It probably make it worse. Probably spoil it.
Well, to be fair, it doesn't need water. I quite like it like that. I would have only done it for research purposes. But no, I like that. And my concern now is that we're going to go to a Kilchoman when we finish this one.
And
it's not going to be feeling with that being a peated malt. It's not going to have the same thing there. But anyway, let's go back to it. And how have you scored it? Have you put any scores on the doors, Clark?
I've given it a lofty 95 because I think it's a wonderful half.
Well, I've given it 97. I've not scored it quite as highly as the last time. So that's interesting because it's equally as good, and it's another Glen Elgin 15-year-old. I was disappointed that I couldn't buy another bottle of the one that I'd had previously, and they don't have it anymore because I remember going through. I was in Glasgow and went into the Malt Whisky Society at Bath Street, or just off Bath Street. I went in to see if I could get another dram of it to try and then to buy a bottle, and they didn't have any left. So I don't know. I don't know if this is the kind of thing that, by the looks of it, this bottle's been released for. It says on the thing was released for the Speyside, the Spirit of Speyside Whisky Festival this year, which was just maybe a couple of months ago, or maybe a month or so back. So, so there must be some 15-year-old Glenelgan about the place. I don't know whether you can buy it or no, or where you can buy it, but that is lovely. I've got a 12-year-old Glenelgan here, which I quite like. But I must admit that wee bit extra time in those sherry butt casks are just lovely. So Gordon Crawford, to Bob Rocket, thank you very much.
You've done very well.
Testing us both on this. We are mightily impressed by the Dram. Nearly caught me out with that, because I wasn't very far off it with the thing, but it did remind me very much of that last, because the one when I joined the Scottish Malt Whisky Society, the bottle they gave me was very, very similar to this. So that's what kind of put me on the trail. So I wasn't confident enough to name it, but it did have so many similarities. No, that's lovely. It's lovely. Anyway, Slans Clark, I'm going to finish this and we'll.
Cheers.
So it always amazes me that the Scottish Malt Whisky Society can come out with these drams like this. Really, really challenging. That's at 57%, Clark. It's just that is an absolute stoter here, Dram. As say on the beach. That's a stoter. That's a stoter.
That's an absolute cracker.
Anyway, I'm sporting my new T-shirt that I bought today, Clark.
Are you? What is it? Has it got anything on it?
A wee bit product placement on Rosebank Distillery.
Oh, right. Can't you see it?
Can you know? I'll bring it up, see.
Oh, I starting to see it now. Aye.
Right,
so it's good. It's on a pale blue. That's
I know. I mean, it's one thing to have the pleasure of working there as a distillery ambassador, taking folk on tours, but quite like the merchandise as well. So I bought myself a polo shirt. So I thought, well, I'll wear it tonight. Product placement. Stick it up here on the screen. Everybody can see it. Come and visit us. Speak to us as much as you want. So having a bit of laugh here with that. So our next one, Clark, is one of yours.
Yes, we've got the Kilchoman tonight. There we go. It looks a bit like that. I don't know. The lighting here is not very great tonight, so it's very hard to see it.
It's a very, very clear colour, Clark. In fact, for me, that would suggest it's not got much age in it, to be honest with you. It doesn't look... It's not far off the new make Spirit. But I tell you, this I can tell by the way that it's running down my glass. There's no legs in this at all, but it's a very, very oily consistency. The fact the whole lot runs down the glass, it doesn't come down with legs. I don't know if you can see that. It's not really coming down with legs at all. It's you see, it's just running right down the glass in one go. It's quite.
It's extremely pale, isn't it?
It's very, very pale.
And the box there, look. There we go. I don't know.
And it's very, very peaty.
Easier to see than the bottle, I suspect, eh?
Yeah. Nothing like what we've just had.
I mean, absolutely nothing like it. It's maybe a mistake having this after that one there, because it's going to be so different.
Well, I know. I did think that.
And in fact, we'll probably score it unduly lowly, having just drank this lowly. Is that the right word I'm looking for? I'm just having just tasted that one, you know.
No, I know that, because that last one was a cracker, and I have a pity at the back of that. I feel a wee bit bad actually, but anyway, we'll certainly be able to compare and contrast, because they're exactly the opposite for each other.
Absolutely, they are. Right. So this is
for the Speyside, the other one for the West Coast on an island.
46%.
Okay.
Bum, bum, bum. European and
It's a
American.
non-age statement, Clark. There isn't any age on this at all.
No, I don't see one. So it says matured in European and American oak.
European and American oak. Okay, right. So with both of them, we should get that little bit of vanilla, particularly with the American oak. Doesn't really say how long it's been actually in either of the barrels for.
It doesn't, no.
But that 46%, there's a couple of things to look at. It depends on what they actually put it into the barrel to start with. Because see, when we put ours at Rosebank, we put ours in about 60, 66, 63%. That's what we put it into the barrel at. And it loses, each year it stays in the barrel, that percentage drops. So the longer it stays in the barrel, that's how you end up like a 10-year-old at 43%. The longer it stays in the barrel, the percentage of the alcohol diminishes over that period of time. So when you look at it from that point of view, this at 46% would suggest that it's probably been in there for about 7 or 8 years. But that will depend on what percentage it went into the barrel with at the first place.
Aye, right. I see what you're saying. Aye.
So at 46 would suggest it's going in at 60% and could be in there for 5, 6, 7 years. That's a possibility. But then again, it could have went into the barrel at 46 and it's only been in there for 3 years and a day, and they've called it Scotch malt whiskey. But I'm not sure that that's the case. Which is interesting because that's one of the things we look at when we're looking at whiskey and the percentage, volume wise. If you take that for example, and the one that Gordon gave us at 57.6 or whatever it was percent, that has been in the cask for 15 years. So that must have started maybe about 65, 70% when it's gone in, 66%, and then it's matured over that period of time, and then it's dropped down to 57. This at 46 is completely different. So that's the kind of difference that the kind of time lapse causes with it in the cask. And then the other part of the cask is we've got both European oak and we've got American oak. So with this then, you've got that. It depends on what it doesn't say it was first fill. So if it was virgin American oak, so it's a virgin American oak and possibly a virgin European oak following that. So it's had two different cask influences. But again, it's very much, again, I'm getting that now that the kind of smokiness is kind of cleared off my nose that I had the first time. I'm now getting that influence behind it of the pears and the apples kind of thing. Sitting behind that, the more it is breathing, the better I'm actually getting that influence. So there's a little bit of green grass and pears behind that smokiness.
You're doing well,
which I got that initially, and then you get that little bit of light vanilla, jasmine coming into it as well.
Yeah,
but there's definitely that kind of phenolic side to it as well. So I'm liking what I'm getting. It's nice now that it's cleared. As I said, I think when I taste this, having had the sherry one, I'm going to take a wee sip to start with, and then I'll have another one later on.
Aye.
So
That's right.
Oh, it's very light, Clark. Well, that's not what I expected at all. Now, I had a bottle of Macker Bay previously. I actually prefer this to the Macker Bay. This is really nice. Very, very light. It's got a subtle smokiness to it. It's not as peaty smoky as I thought it was going to be.
Not overpowering at all. No.
There is
very gentle smokiness.
There is, but there's an oiliness as well on your tongue.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a wee bit of spice heat in that little chilly background on your tongue. The finish isn't particularly long, I don't think, on it.
No. It's gone quite quickly.
And I love that.
I love that.
That smokiness at the back, Clark, is lovely.
It's nice, eh?
It is. That's a lovely, lovely peaty dram without being overpoweringly smoky. It's not like when we have like an Ardbeg or a Lagavulin or something like that. This is really, really nice. I like that.
Very easy drinking for a smoky.
Yep.
For a smoky whiskey like that, it's yeah. Yeah, very nice. I think this is only the second time I've tried it. I had a taste of it when we got the bottle at first, and I thought, oh, that's quite nice. I better leave that aside for having a half a bully.
Yeah. Now that I've got a wee taste for it now, having had that sherry bomb that Gordon gave us. I'm enjoying it. It's very dry. It's very kind of sea salty. You know what I mean? It's got like sea salt, sea air, kind of.
Good. Aye. Aye.
I wouldn't be unhappy if somebody gave me a bottle of that, Clark, because I do like a peaty dram, and that's lovely.
It is very salty on your palate. I hadn't noticed that until you said just now, but it is. It's very salty on your palate once you get through the smoke.
Yeah. Now, I've mentioned before about liking to put a wee drop of Talisker or Colilla or something like that on my oysters.
Oh, absolutely. This would be good.
Rather than Tabasco sauce or something. This would be absolutely superb. With a wee drappy just into the oyster as I was going to have it. That would just...
Aye.
That would finish that off really nicely.
Aye. So it would, aye. You get that nice ocean fresh explosion when you do that, don't you? With an oyster.
Definitely.
Fantastic.
And I'm finding it's leaving me with that finish on my tongue again. Just it leaves you wanting to drink more.
It does. I was thinking that myself as well. This is going to be, if I drank a lot of this, I'd become thirsty.
The other thing as well is well, I would. It would, and you'd probably dehydrate as well and end up with a headache in the morning. But it's one of those drams that you can actually drink, and then you think, I want another wee mouthful of that. It's because it is so nice. Aye, so I'm suitably impressed once again by Kilchoman.
Well, it's not a disappointment having just had the Glenelgan, which I was afraid of. I was afraid of.
I would agree with that, because I was kind of feeling the same way, because we'd had such a fantastic experience with the Glenelgan, that then having a smoky dram at the back of it was going to kind of, and obviously it has. I mean, it's changed the palate and the taste and the flavour and everything that I've got. But if that's what I was finishing my evening with, sitting round the campfire or wherever I was, I would be happy with that.
Aye.
So have you given it a score?
I have not. I haven't got to that yet. But this is doing well. This is a nice dram.
Yep.
Right, so we'll give it a.
So I did a wee bit of work the other day there, because I was wanting to work out, while you're writing this down, how many drams we've actually had, Clark, since we started doing this.
Right, okay.
Since lockdown, because we're almost coming up for our third year, because we started this in the October of well, the October of 2020 actually. So we're almost into our 4th year.
Aye.
So October 2020 we started this. Do you want to have a guess as to how many drams we've had?
Well, in our first book we had about 100 drams. So I would say that it looks to me like we've probably done another 50 or more. So I'll make a stab at 160 drams. And I'm nowhere near it, am I?
No. Would you be surprised if I told you it started with a 2?
Really? Hey!
We've done 210 drams since we started.
Hey, you would think by this time I would know something about whiskey.
Well, you would think so. And that, I mean, I was quite, I couldn't believe it when I was, I mean, obviously, we're into about our 4th book or something since we started. So, and we're almost, you know, we're about halfway through this one. So we've done 210 whiskies.
Oh, we're more than
That's
halfway
210 different whiskies. It's not like we've gone back and redone anything.
Oh, that's right, aye.
I thought that was quite a milestone.
It's pretty good, aye. It's pretty good.
They have done as many as that. But and I suppose we've got to thank a number of people because you know that number of people have not just had these ourselves and bought them. You know, the whole part of the experiment or fun that we've had since lockdown. You know, not being able to meet up and have a dram was all run about us just tasting whiskey together and having a bit of fun and whatever. And it's kind of developed and matured and whatever else.
A bit like ourselves.
Eh?
A bit like ourselves.
Yes. So there we are. I mean, and I've got the date when we first did our dram. So I think we'll have an anniversary dram when we get to that. We'll do something a wee bit different. On that one, we'll look at what we can do, and we'll thank. I mean, obviously, Gordon's gave us a couple of drams to try. We've had Cliff on, giving us some drams, and we had the whiskey minister Vic Cameron. He's given us a couple of drams to try and whatever. So, very, very interesting. I've just had a message to Bob Rocket for Gordon. He says, "Well done with the identification." He says, so he thought it was so good, he actually bought another bottle before it disappeared. So I have to say to Gordon, thanks very much for getting it. Hopefully keeps some of that for me for later on to try again when we get to that stage, you know. Because now that he's told me that he's got another bottle of it, you know, I will be maybe having a wee visit through to Glasgow in the next couple of weeks to see him with Jennifer. And
that's what a drink it all.
I know that he's told me that it's there because now that's a cracking dram, but so is this. So is this. So that's us. 210 drams we've had over that period. I'm sure there's a lot more for us to try. I know what we've got. We've got at least another half dozen wee drams here for us to have a go at.
We have.
And if it wasn't for the fact that we were live at the moment, I would have suggested you go and grab the Kilchoman, which was the German one, because that would go very nicely with this, but we'll save that for another night.
I'm not sure I've got that one yet, Willie. I don't see it.
I've not gave you yours yet.
I don't see it, no. I don't see it.
Oh. I thought I'd given you that. I thought the one that was in my drawer here was for what's his name? For Cliff.
Cliff, yeah.
But the bottle's
no,
here.
There's three there, but none of them are German. I can tell by the accent.
If you look on the top of the bottle, I wrote on the top of the lids of the bottle that I gave you. So I gave you 3 wee dumpy bottles, and on the top I wrote STK for St. Killian, and I wrote something else on the top of the other bottles, whatever it was I gave you when you were round the other day.
I don't remember
What
that.
we
See,
look-
there's the French one, and it's got nothing written on the top either.
No, the French one's just got written on the front yet. The
That's
other
right.
one was two little bottles with brass tops, brass caps on the top.
The only one with a brass cap on is that one. That's the only brass cap one I've got, and that was
Let me just have a wee
Glenn.
look in. I'm going to reach over to my drawer here and see what I've got. Well, they're definitely no in there.
We're not here. I've got an Edinburgh Castle, and I've got a Glencadam, and I've got a Bendomac. That's all that's there.
Oh, you got that Glencadam Oloroso one?
Yeah, I think so. And Reserve PX, it says.
Yes, aye. Oh, the PX one. It was PX. That's a lovely dram. We'll need to do
So
that soon.
So there's only the three there, boy.
Right. Cool. All right then. Well, I won't keep you much longer this evening. We'll finish this dram off, and we will catch up in the tasting bothy in, well, I don't know, but maybe next Sunday evening, depending on what your plans are. Because we need to get back to our Sunday evenings together, because we've had the summer holidays and we've been away and doing various things. So I'd like to get back into it on a regular basis and
That's
and
not a
spend
bad
that
thing.
time. No. Definitely not. Anyway. Your good health.
I gave this a 90, by the way. I don't know what you gave it.
Oh, sorry. 82.
82? Oh, you were mean there, boy. I thought it was better than that.
Did you? I'm going to go back and see what I gave the other one. No, I like that. It's nice. 82 though. That's what I got. We'll raise a glass to Gordon as well for his
well done, sir. Well
his
done.
dram that he gave us, because that was a stoter, an absolute stoter. So we'll raise a glass to that. Try to catch us out the way he did. I'll have words with him later on. He'll get a message from me just shortly. That's nice. I'm getting more of that pear drop and freshness in it now than I had earlier on. That's where I can get that vanilla European oak coming for that you get, that cask that you get. And it's not as peaty as I thought it was going to be. But anyway, Slàinte, Clark.
Yes. Cheers.
And we will say our farewells to those who have watched us this evening and joined us, and who continue to support us and send us messages on our Instagram page and leave messages on our YouTube channel. So it's always fun for us to just come on here and share a dram and have a chat about it and just enjoy all things whiskey. It's about time that we had Cliff back on and see if we can get some other folk to join us as we head in towards Christmas time. We'll see if we can get some other folk to come on and taste some drams with us. So we'll get that arranged soon. We'll catch up with you later, Clark. You take care. Have a good evening.
Good night.
Good night.